the transformation of our massive, complex, in-person operating model into a functioning virtual model capable of providing court access in the broadest range of cases was an absolutely remarkable achievement, one that I will never forget. Of course, technology can only partially supplant the human element, and because we know and value the face-to-face interactions that are absolutely essential to the delivery of justice, as soon as we completed our transformation to a virtual court model, we began our work to prepare for the safe resumption of appropriate in-person operations. And following all available public health guidance, we retrofitted our courthouses and implemented extensive safety measures to protect the health of everyone entering and working in our buildings, including COVID screening and temperature checks, social distancing protocols, installation of acrylic barriers, strict cleaning and sanitizing standards, and disciplined use of PPE. Our commitment to and consistency in following the best safety practices and public health guidance paid off quickly and enabled us to resume some in-person proceedings. We resumed the impanelment of grand juries, and we were able to restart a limited number of in-person civil and criminal jury trials across the state. And then, what we always knew was possible or even likely, the virus made a resurgence, and we were compelled to pause our jury trial efforts once again in mid-November. At the present time, we are still conducting the vast majority of court business virtually, but with the second wave of the virus subsiding, we are in the process of summoning trial jurors back to our courthouses in order to resume a limited number of in-person civil and criminal jury trials statewide. And while we've impaneled at least one sitting grand jury in every county of the state, we are incrementally expanding that number where there is a demonstrated need for additional panels. We are confident in our ability to safely resume in-person operations based on the experience we have gained and on the lessons we have learned over the last year. So, where are we today? Today, we are remotely conferencing well over 20,000 cases per week, narrowing disputed issues, settling cases, referring matters to virtual ADR, hearing motions, and conducting over 1,000 virtual bench trials and evidentiary and fact-finding hearings each week. Since early April, we have conducted almost 750,000 virtual case conferences. Over 230,000 of those matters were settled or otherwise disposed of, and over 80,000 decisions were issued on motions and undecided matters. And we've conducted over 10,000 virtual bench trials and evidentiary and fact-finding hearings since the beginning of November. In addition, every individual arrested and held in custody since the beginning of the pandemic has been expeditiously arraigned by a judge. In the New York City Criminal Court, 65,000 virtual arraignment proceedings were conducted over the past 10 months, and another 93,000 arraignments were conducted in the city and district courts outside New York City over that same period. Our family courts have also been incredibly busy. Over the past 10 months, there were almost 1 million virtual appearances by litigants, lawyers, and stakeholders statewide. And in the New York City Civil Court, nearly 90,000 matters were disposed of, and just over 1,700 virtual trials were conducted. While the pandemic has temporarily paused the positive momentum we have built over the last 5 years under the banner of our Excellence Initiative, these numbers clearly show that our judges, staff, and leadership team have never stopped working to advance the goals of operational and decisional excellence in courts throughout the state.